Hey dudes, with draft season around the corner, I wanted to introduce you our new sponsor, Trophy Smack. Maybe you've heard of Trophy Smack on Shark Tank, who knows, maybe somewhere else. Anyways, however you've heard of them, go ahead and check them out. Go to www.trophysmack.com/dudes. Take your fantasy football league to the next level. If you look on YouTube, we have a nice belt here for our Dino Dudes League. So go ahead and check Trophy Smack out. Enter our promo code there for 15% off your whole entire order.
This is the Fantasy Football Dudes Podcast.
What is up, my dudes? This is Trent. And on today's episode, we are going to talk about, maybe a little bit of DeAndre Hopkins landing spots, but mostly dynasty targets. And maybe that's why we'll talk about DeAndre Hopkins, some divas, and more NFL talk. But before we get into the NFL talk, let's just recap, this weekend. It's been a while since you guys talked to us. Seth, you look horrible.
Don't tell your wife no.
Yeah, exactly. Seth,
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
My wife did not punch me.
So, Seth, you guys had a good baseball season. You won the section.
Yeah, so I'll just say how it happened. I was throwing in the batting cage, and I was getting a little lazy. Didn't get behind the screen in time. Took one to the face.
Yeah, so how many
and
stitches?
we didn't win the game the next day,
Yeah,
so it wasn't worth it.
How many stitches, Seth?
12.
12 stitches. So you split your eyelid in half.
Yeah, my eyelid.
And
it
then
got
you're
stitched.
underneath your
and
eye.
then I got 11 under my eye, yeah.
Okay, so they did stitch your eyelid. It wasn't glue.
Yeah, they stitched my eyelid.
Could you feel the stitches on your eye when you were closing?
Yeah, that was the most painful part because he couldn't numb that part. He's like, hey, I can't numb your eyelid, so we just have to sew it how it is. And I'm like, okay. He's like, you absolutely cannot move because if you flinch too much, I will stab your eye.
I would have said put me to sleep. I said put me under.
Well, I was already
We've all been
I was
hoping that
already
for
at the
you.
emergency room for 6 hours, and I didn't want to stay there for 4 more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Did it feel like straight up sandpaper on your retinas, or like I can't imagine
Well, it didn't
having the
touch my
stitches?
eye.
No, but the stitches on your lid, you couldn't feel it on the inside. Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah, I mean, I guess you sort of could. It just felt like, I don't know. It felt weird when he tied it. I don't know. The prick wasn't as bad as I thought, but the actual tying of the thing was
If
bad.
you're at the emergency room for 6 hours, what's 4 hours more? I heard the guy next to you is a lot worse.
Yeah, the guy next to me came in 5 minutes after me, cut off 3 of his fingers with a table saw.
Oh man.
And I was like,
That'll make you feel
Trent,
better.
hold your hand up
and he
real
sat
quick.
down next to me. Yeah, it's these three. And he sat down next to me, and I'm all, those your fingers in that bowl of ice? He goes, yep.
Yo, you talked to him?
Yeah.
He's going to come on the pod later. No, he's coming on
He
the
goes,
draft.
man, I really wish I got hit in the face by a ball. And I'm like, I bet you did.
So was he just bandaged? His hand looked like one of those defensive linemen.
His hand was in a bath towel, and his fingers were sitting in a bowl of ice water.
Did he drive himself to the?
No, his wife drove him.
And so were they going to try and sew it back onto?
Well,
his...
he got in obviously a lot quicker than me. So he came in
Yeah.
and said, "Hey, my finger," but he still waited 15 minutes for them to take him back.
So were they going to try and sew
I have
back
no
in
idea.
there?
I didn't see him. after
Imagine
that.
just sitting there in the hospital in the waiting room.
But I
with
mean, obviously,
your
I
fingers in
didn't
a
see
thing
him
of
in the
ice.
other waiting rooms. So obviously they took him, pretty
Yeah,
quickly
he
to
has to. That's
to
emer-
emergency
that is
surgery
an
room.
emergency.
Did they fix him?
I don't know.
Did you shake his hand?
No.
Did you get his contact info, Instagram handle?
I wish, but I
anything?
think the guy was when I was talking to him, man, I think he was like he had already freaked out, and because he was talking, he was moving back and forth, and but apparently I talked to his wife after they took him back. He's like, apparently this guy is full of accidents, and I'm like, dude, why are you cutting wooden trellis for your tomatoes? Just buy the trellis at Home Depot for 50 cents.
Yeah, he saved it. He was
No,
saving
that's
himself
not
about
what it was.
$12.
So obviously this guy's a DIY guy, but he likes to lose appendages while doing it.
Yeah.
Well, if you had a bad weekend, you didn't get you
There
probably
might have
didn't
been
lose
some
any
drinking
fingers.
involved.
Yeah.
Like,
All
if
I'm
you're-
saying is, if you think your life's that bad, go to the ER room and you'll be like, wow, my life's not that bad.
Anyways, Phil, how you doing, man? You have a good weekend?
Yeah, it was good. Didn't do what did I do this weekend? I didn't do much. Just kind of man, I'm trying to think what I did. I didn't do much. Just kind of hung out. Had a
I was hoping you had something else.
I did some yard work.
Yeah.
Just some standard yard work around my house, trimmed some trees.
Me, you, and Seth went whitewater rafting a couple weeks ago. That was
We
kind of
did
cool.
go
We had a
whitewater
close call on
rafting.
that too.
We almost lost Trent.
Yeah,
We
that was
almost
on
lost
our-
Trent.
That was last week when we
came
took
about
it off.
4 feet from a bridge to the forehead.
Yeah. I did get nervous about
4
doing it.
feet's kind of a lot of room, though.
No, it was less than 4 feet.
Wait, did your guys' boat hit the bridge?
Oh yeah,
we
sorry.
wrapped
Seth
around the
wasn't on our
bridge.
boat. Seth wasn't on our boat.
Oh, you guys are wrapped around the bridge.
I heard about. I know it was your boat though. That's
Yeah,
probably
no,
the
no.
heaviest boat.
Yeah. They were trying to offset Trent and me for the weight, and I'm like, guys, there's 3 other people on this boat that are heavier than me. Why am I the offset guy?
Oh, Phil threw up 6 times on the way up
Yeah,
there.
it's true.
worse.
That is not true.
Yeah.
Wait, you threw up, Phil, on the way up?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, that's why we're like 45 minutes
No,
late.
no,
He
no,
kept
no,
stopping
no, no,
every single
no,
time.
no. This is what
All
happened.
I heard was my brother-in-law threw up, and he was in front of us, and I saw him throw his head out the window, and it just chunks. And I'm
Oh.
How do you throw up?
So here's the thing.
were
I
you in
did
the front seat?
He didn't do
No,
anything this
no,
weekend, but
not
like, yeah,
initially.
he made an hour-long drive, 2 hours long.
So this is what
he did.
happened. I was like, okay, we're going whitewater rafting. I am going to like not
He
carb
carb
load.
loaded on it.
Well, I'm
did-
not going to
you
carb
did
load,
carb
but
load.
kind of
He ate
carb load
donuts. He ate
because I didn't know what to
donuts.
expect.
Oh my.
So I did peanut butter and waffles with syrup. Just one, not like Eggo, like my wife had made them and then they're fridge. So I warmed it up, and then I had a glazed donut when we got there.
Don't lie.
Chase it down.
Chase it down with a glass of milk. No. So then the people that I'm riding with, Seth, you can vouch for this. The people that I'm riding with were like 20 minutes late.
In the truck.
In the truck.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
people that
it's
I'm
true.
riding
They
with
were
were
late.
20 minutes late. So the guy driving, bless his heart, was trying to catch up to the rest of the crew. And so
We caught up before we got to the mountains, in my driver's defense, like.
no, that's not true. So they're like, we're about 15 to 20 minutes here ahead. So this guy's taking like basically one-way turns going way too fast. And I'm sitting in the back seat and I'm listening to Trent talk, which is exhausting enough. Plus you throw in windy roads. And at that point,
Nauseating, you would
it's
say.
nauseating, yes. And so at some point I'm like, hey, you got to pull over. And so the first time I pull over, I just start yakking and Trent's in the front seat and the driver keeps rolling down Trent's window. So he has to like be involved with it basically the entire time. So then we switch seats, but it was probably like 5 to 6 times like
Wow.
before we got there.
That's a lot.
I think it was worse than your
You
brother-in-law.
you
should've
made
just
them
sat there.
stop.
He made us
5 to
pull,
6
and he got out of the car.
Dude.
He got out of the car and
Didn't you
bent
not see the
over.
photos?
Have some self-control.
No, have
No.
some self-respect
No,
as a man.
no,
That's
no.
what he needs.
If you
Swallow
holding
it.
in,
Hold
holding
it
in,
in.
holding
Hold it in,
in,
you
throw
bum.
up is way worse.
Dude, no guy throws up 5 times in a car ride.
No. He probably threw up 3 times, but the other 3 times he was just dry heaving
That's even
outside.
worse.
I was prepping myself.
Dude,
I was prepping my
you were
esophagus.
throwing up
Dude,
for what?
dude, it was a rough day
Dude,
before we got there, and I
we
didn't
might
touch
need-
the Mexican food before we
we
left.
might
I'm like,
need to kick you off the dudes. Like, you're not a dude anymore. You
Yeah.
threw up. Come on, dude.
hey, no,
You
this
throw
is
up
no,
once.
no. This is what we're
That's
gonna do.
true. Once
Jordan,
is
you're gonna
once.
have a waffle, peanut butter, and syrup. Then
And
you're
he'll
gonna
be
no
fine.
I
He'll be
promise
Then you'll
I
have a
would not
donut,
throw up.
and you're gonna sit in the back and listen to
I
Trent talk about who
promise.
knows what for 45
Here's the
minutes.
thing.
That was probably the
Even if
worst
I-
part.
People envy you
Phil,
being in a car with me for 45
Even
minutes.
if I felt like I'd throw up, it just wouldn't happen. I'd hold it in. I'd have some self-control.
Self-respect.
Our self-respect, too.
You know what? Actually, I believe that because you went living life for about 6 to 10 months with a fire alarm that was broken. Like, so yeah, and honestly, that's lacking self-respect. So, do I believe you can hold throw up in? Yes. Could you do it for a long time? Also, yes. But I don't want to live your lifestyle. So I'm not going to take advice from you.
Dude, man, this hurts my stitches so bad.
I don't know what to say.
I can't breathe.
Go check us out on YouTube at TFF Dudes to see all the...
Talk about some
yeah.
self-respect. This guy.
Jordan, how was your weekend, man? You got basketball or something?
I didn't do any basketball this
Alright,
weekend. It was good.
Can we tell the story of you almost dying though?
Yeah, I want to hear that story.
Yeah.
What happened on the whitewater rafting?
Anyways, our guide thought it'd be a good idea to take us over this last rapid. Like, there's no rapids left. He's like, hey, there's one right there by the bridge, but gotta be pretty technical. Well, the guy in front of our boat,
The driver of the vehicle who made
yeah,
you throw
basically,
up.
he practically was, a mermaid up front, But anyways, he's like, hey,
Merman.
we're technical, so let's do it. So we do it, and we had a couple people in our boat who were not very good. Like Phil was
Not
not.
me. No, I
Phil-
was
no,
good.
you were not near being one of the worst
Phil's
people on our boat.
Phil's paddle couldn't reach the water.
There's
No,
a couple times that happened.
We had someone's paddle not reaching the water, but anyways, we end up going right by this bridge and we just wrap it. And I'm like, oh, shoot. I get my oar, stick it up against the bridge. And I'm like, man, I almost went like, so I'm sitting on the right side of the boat. I'm all the way on the left side of the boat, like sitting basically on my cousin's lap because it's the bridge pushed me all the way over.
Just wrecked Housden.
And I'm like, I seriously was like, man, it was going through my mind. I'm like, I either need to jump out of I need to jump out of the boat right now because I'm going to take the bridge head on. And I was like, if I jump out of the boat, I'm going to get ran over by the boat. And the only thing I was thinking was, if I get concussed, are these guys going to get me back in the boat?
Yeah.
You know, like.
What's their ability?
Yeah, what's their ability?
What's the worst part is like the place where you like get out is like 50 yards away from the bridge.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you have to kind of hustle to get out.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Or
you
you-
keep going down
yeah.
the rapids. And
And there's some sketchier ones just past that.
well, that's why they stopped there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways,
He survived.
I had a good weekend. I'm going to talk about my weekend in the diva section, though. Is that okay, guys?
It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll go over there because I have 3 divas for this week. And it all happened with my encounter yesterday.
You traveled this
I
weekend.
traveled. I went to the Dodgers-Yankees game. It was pretty cool. Had great seats, got some free tickets. But I will talk about my divas of the week at the end of the show when we get into divas. And
Sounds good.
it's pretty cool seeing Aaron Judge, rob a triple. He hit a home run. Cool to see a Fresno State guy do that stuff. So let's get into our, dynasty targets that we were talking about, guys. But with draft season around the corner, I'd like to talk about Underdog Sports, guys. Underdog is my favorite, or the dude's favorite place to play DFS sports. I'm still talking about Phil, still talking about self-respect. I'm so sorry. Underdog is the easiest way to play fantasy sports. Draft your team and forget it. No setting lineups or trades. It's the dude's favorite place to play best ball, all kinds of other DFS games. Enter promo code DUDES. They will match you up to $100. There's a lot of best ball drafts right now, guys. I don't know, throw in $1 one, $3 one,
Yep.
all kinds of different stuff.
The Phil special, the dollar
The
draft.
dollar tray, yeah.
But no, hey, you can win up to $1 million on some of those drafts. So go ahead, check it out. They have a budget for everyone. It's a very budget friendly. Whatever you want, whatever your taste is, how risky you want to get. Go to Underdog. They got rivals, all kinds of good stuff. We love Underdog. Seth, you haven't been sending any plays in the Discord lately, Dude Nation. Maybe try to get in on that, even if you don't want to play them. I just need something to play.
I know.
You can't catch anything, Seth, if your pole's not in the water, okay? Wise fisherman once told me that. So scared money don't make money. Anyways, guys, let's get into our dynasty targets. Jordan, you got anything here? You want to just talk about DeAndre Hopkins? I know it's not really a dynasty target, but maybe it's somebody, if you have a good team.
I would imagine his redraft value is going to be pretty high if he's on the Chiefs or the Bills.
I think so.
If he goes to the Browns, like I've seen the Browns thrown around, I think its value's not as high, but
You don't think him and Watson would be a good
I don't believe in Deshaun Watson anymore, so
you think it's just done?
I think he's done. If he can go, but I heard that Hopkins wants a ton of money, so we'll see what happens there.
I can't imagine teams signing him for more than 1 year. Do they have to take over? How much was left over? On
Well,
the
he
Arizona?
wants like a lucrative contract. Let's see if there's.
I imagine this contract is going to be. Odell Beckham is kind of weird because he had like the Bitcoin part of his deal. I imagine this deal being more of like an Odell Beckham to the Rams type deal. You know what I'm saying? I know that he may want something different, but I don't foresee that actually happening.
He probably just wants.
Do you get what I'm saying, or do you disagree with that?
No, I think he wants to go somewhere where he thinks he can more win, right?
I think he wants money.
Do you think it's more money than winning?
He's
Probably
seeking.
both.
Okay, so he's seeking a contract similar to the 1 year, $15 million deal that Odell Beckham got from the Ravens. You said the Rams, though, right?
I did, but I was
Yeah.
So I mean, I thought he went on a multi-year. Yeah, 1 year. I hope the Chiefs and I hope the Chiefs sign him. I think he'd do really, really well in Kansas City.
There's some Dallas Cowboy chatter in there too, right? It's kind of a
I
favorite
don't like the
front runner.
fit as much, but
Oh yeah, I can understand that.
there's a lot of stuff talking about the Browns, though.
I think it's going to come down. Well, yeah, because he likes Watson. I think it's going to come down to, do they want? It's going to be Bills and Chiefs wanting to keep him away from the other one, right? That's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah.
Those two guys have to figure that out. So from a dynasty, like, do you think right now, dynasty football wise, Jordan, it's a hard time to get DeAndre Hopkins, or you think it's an easier time? I want to say it's probably harder.
I say it's harder because nobody knows. It's hard to know what his value is with like without knowing what team he's on, and I feel like people are gonna try to. If you try to trade for him, they're gonna want like the value of him being on the Chiefs.
I even threw a wild card out there, like maybe the Dolphins might be kind of interesting if he went there.
I don't
You
think he
they'd
wants
do
to
it?
go to his. I mean, what they have Waddle and Tyreek.
Tyreek's what got another 2 years there though.
Yeah, but I mean Hopkins
Yeah.
is not.
He's
on the
looking for a
younger-
one-year deal.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean,
Who? So where do you said you just like him more on the Chiefs, right, Jordan?
I think the Chiefs or the Bills would be great fits.
Where do you like him more?
Chiefs.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs, he'd be like the obviously number one option.
Number one wide receiver would be him and Kelsey.
Yep.
Well, and then what they've been saying about Tony recently too, but I mean that's just not proven.
That would hurt Tony's.
There's a lot of like, it would hurt Tony.
That's not proven that Tony's going to be what they're saying he is though, because he always gets hurt.
I think there's room
Yeah.
for Tony, Hopkins, and Kelsey.
Oh, for sure.
yeah, I think so.
There's a lot of those Chiefs receivers. It's going to be very. If they don't sign DeAndre Hopkins, they don't sign anybody. It's going to be very interesting, like who emerges out of that receiver room.
Yeah,
Hopkins only 30 years old. He feels older than that.
and especially wide receiver. He's not a running back. Like I still feel like he's got another 3 years or so in him. Like I'm looking at some highlights from him right here, all his one-handed catches he's had and stuff like that. Is there anyone on the Cardinals that you're like, hey, I would target that guy for that? Like you think it's Rondale Moore,
I've seen a lot with Dortch.
Dortch?
I feel like I've seen quite a bit with that
Mhm.
guy because he was kind of hot at the end of the season.
I actually
So
sent
we got Rondale, Dortch.
I sent a Dynasty trade out about 30 minutes before the DeAndre Hopkins news for Rondale Moore for just a third-round pick, just for whatever. And the guy, like, I forgot I did it. I sent it, and I was like, man, I can't believe he sent that. And I'm like, shoot, Hopkins is gone. Moore's probably – he looks a lot better with no Hopkins there, right?
There's definitely a lot of people on the Dortch bandwagon, though.
Mm-hmm.
So is there any other guys?
I think it'd be we're talking about AFC teams. It'd be kind of wild if he went to the Jets. The likelihood of him going there is just so incredibly low. But what if he went to the Jets?
I think
That'd be
there's
kind
zero
of crazy.
chance he goes to Jets.
I agree with you, but I'm just saying we're talking AFC teams. How crazy would it be to load up Rodgers with another weapon there?
I wouldn't write them off, Jordan. He said he wants to go somewhere that has a quarterback that loves the game, so maybe that's something that
Does Aaron Rodgers love the game?
Yeah, no, I know that. That's the one thing. He said he wants a competitive defense, a quarterback that loves the game, and I can't remember what the other one
I
was.
mean, that's
but those
kind
were
of all those things.
That was
that
kind of
if
two
you-
of the things he wanted.
I think Aaron Rodgers still loves the game.
Yeah, but it's just like how many more games do you got, Aaron
Well,
Rodgers? Or seasons, right?
But again, he's only looking for a 1-year deal. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow,
Yeah, I think Bills and Chiefs are the front runners for sure.
This
Just
Chiefs,
trying to win.
I'm just looking at this Chiefs wide receiver room without DeAndre Hopkins.
It's not very good, or you think it's
Well,
good?
it's just, I don't know who's going to be the guy.
I don't either.
So we got MVS. He's MVS, like Kadarius Toney, tons of upside. Sky Moore, tons of upside. Justin Watson, kind of know what he is.
Ross has a lot of upside too.
So
though.
I'm getting it. Rasheed Rice, second round draft pick, tons of upside. Richie James did some good things with the Giants last year. And then Justin Ross. Justin Ross is the guy who I think.
Oh, he was so good at Clemson.
And you have John Ross.
and John
too.
Ross though.
But
that
like
big
Justin
pick.
Ross, if he doesn't have that injury stuff, he would have been like a third, fourth round draft pick. Like
They said he looks good in OTAs.
he's the guy who I think he's like that deep. Like if you're doing like a dynasty, like it's kind of interesting pickup in dynasty just because you don't know. Like he could be the guy.
You probably could just throw some third. Would you throw second round draft picks at some of those Chiefs wide receivers like Justin Ross or?
Well, Justin
Tony would
Ross, you
take
can
more,
probably
maybe.
pick up on the waiver wire, right? Or you can't.
You might be able to. You just I'm going to transition here out of the Chiefs wide receivers, but Miles Sanders. That's kind of a guy running back that you maybe can get for. He's on the Panthers. Guys aren't super excited about the Panthers. I think Miles Sanders there. That's like a dynasty running back you might be able to get for cheap. It's not a good team. Bryce Young would dump the ball down to Jahmyr Gibbs in college football. Maybe Miles Sanders is a decent PPR weapon here on the Panthers. It's just a safety valve for Bryce Young. And I don't know what you would think that Miles Sanders would be worth Jordan? Like, you think if someone offered you a second-round pick for Miles Sanders, you'd be willing to give him up for that? Or no? I'm just trying to think of, like, you might be able to trade, like, some decent, a little bit of draft capital for some of these guys that we're mentioning. And it's so I'm like,
I'll be honest, I have a hard time, like, trying to figure out what draft capital is worth in Dynasty leagues.
I know, but so there's some guys that are like, I'm in a rebuilding team right now. If I had Miles Sanders and you offered me a second-round draft pick, I'd say, yeah, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like you just want more dart throws if you're in rebuilding.
It depends on if you're in a win now or
like if you're a win now guy and you just need a running back, maybe Miles Sanders looks pretty good as your number 2 running back.
Yeah.
Where you can do stuff like that. I don't know, dynasty strategy. I know we haven't really gotten into it too much, but it's kind of fun.
Questions, like I saw this on Twitter, I think today, like, who do you like better? Like CJ Stroud or Bryce Young, and like that whole like offense's fit. Like, because I saw someone saying that like people prefer Stroud over Young because of his weapons, but like to me their weapons are kind of similar if we're being honest.
I think Stroud might have better wide receivers, right? Because he has like Mechie. Who else does he have over there? We haven't even seen Mechie. He has a Damien Pierce, which Damien Pierce had a solid year
Nico Collins, Mechie, Robert Woods. They drafted both Hutchinson and Tank Dell, signed Noah Brown. Yes, they got 5'6" receivers who are solid. And they got Dalton Schultz a tight end, Damien Pierce running back, Devin Singletary running back.
It's probably going to be like if you had Damien Pierce, he's a guy that'd be hard to get this time of year, I think. I think people are excited who have Damien Pierce in Dynasty football to where, like, how he had a good season with what he had. That's a guy, you could get him. I don't know.
So the Panthers then have Thielen, Chark, Terrence Marshall, drafted Jonathan Mingo, have Chenault there, Shai Smith, tight end Hayden Hurst, and they have Miles Sanders, Chuba Hubbard. Yeah, I guess the Texans' weapons are a tad bit better.
Tad. I don't say I like love either one, but yeah, I'm just a tad. It's not a bunch. There's been some buzz about Elijah Moore in Cleveland, Jordan. I know you aren't a fan of Deshaun Watson anymore, but I think
it'd definitely go away if they signed Hopkins.
It definitely would go away because with Amari Cooper, but I felt like this Jets should have kept Elijah Moore. I didn't feel like he ever really got like a fair shake at things, but Saints tight ends, I think something you could.
You guys are giggling over.
I don't know what they're doing.
Seth made a dynasty move on the pod.
Did you really?
Yeah, I just dropped Tom Brady. I was looking at my dynasty team. I have DeAndre Hopkins, so like I was looking at him.
Yeah,
I did trade for him a couple months ago, actually.
So you get the notification that he made a move.
Mm-hmm. I dropped Tom Brady. Someone
Have some self-respect.
He's part of the he's part of the Raiders regime now, right? Or he's trying to. They got to approve him.
Well, I think he's going to be confirmed part owner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That actually could be something sneaky that really helps the Raiders out. Think he could? You think?
I
think it'd be someone that they actually listen to?
I saw him on an interview with ESPN, and he said that he's not going to be super involved right away.
Oh, really?
It'll be something that he organically kind of gets into.
Kind of weird to be an owner and a commentator, right?
Yeah, he said right now that he thinks his role will increase, or he's just trying to find out. You know, he said right now he wants to spend a lot of time with his kids and kind of do the commentating thing. I think this is something that he, like, long term will be heavily involved in. But I think it might be like 5-6 years from now is when he kind of starts getting into it.
He's like, I follow him on Instagram, and he seems like he's doing a lot of interviews now, but it almost seems like he's like kind of on the Aaron Rodgers train. He like doesn't seem like the Tom Brady who was playing football, and maybe that was his like mentality just switched away from not like competing. Do you get what I'm saying? Have you
like as far I don't like
he just seems like kind of spacey, like very into like meditation type stuff. You get what I'm saying? Maybe he was always into that. I don't know. It just seems like post Tom Brady career does not seem like the same Tom Brady who played football.
Well, I think
most people stay similar.
Yeah, I mean, he's also was 45 when he retired and not 35.
That's fair. Anyhow,
I mean, the guy's 5 years away from 50. You know, like
yeah.
He's
got some maturity.
I think he's I think he's very comfortable just being a family man, dad, and
yeah.
So
that was an unnecessary tangent.
Yeah,
I
it was.
apologize.
Saints.
Yeah, Elijah Moore though, Trent. Like who they have? They have Amari Cooper and Elijah Moore. Is that it?
Yeah, Amari Cooper and Elijah Moore, which
I mean, I really liked Elijah Moore at Ole Miss in college, and I think he's very talented. So I mean, I was a huge Elijah Moore guy coming out. Was he a rookie last year?
last year was his second year.
This will be his third year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he had a decent rookie year with Matt White. Or no, that was last year, right? No, that was 2 years ago.
Are you talking about Mike
He had
White?
Mike White,
yeah.
sorry. He had some decent games he strung together and then never really gelled with Zach Wilson, but no one did. Might be a good dynasty time to trade for Deshaun Watson if you're in a super flex.
Man, they have guys there though. Man, they got Amari Cooper, DPJ, Don Peoples-Jones, Elijah Moore. They drafted Cedric Tillman, who I think is really good at Tennessee.
Yes.
They got Marquise Goodwin. They have David Bell, who I think was a rookie last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they got guys.
I think Watson, he has this full off season. He's working out with the guys. I think he's going to bounce back a little bit better. You don't think he's I'm talking super flex dynasty. You might be able to get this guy fairly cheap.
No, he's fine.
You don't think he's going to be a top 5 quarterback ever again? Though?
No. I mean, he just didn't look. He looked
He looked pretty
horrible
bad last year. Yep.
Yeah. I think I'm going to send some trades out for Watson, see what I can do.
Also,
I got the picks.
here's what I'll say, Trent. He played what, the back seven?
Yes. Yeah, so
he
he
played
missed
the
the
back
first
seven.
couple.
He had a bunch of weird stuff going on. It's kind of hard to come in when everyone's at their best, right? If you look at a quarterback who their first game, they're not firing on all cylinders. You know what I'm saying? And he had 7 games. He was also dealing with through the first 10 weeks, just a bunch of really weird stuff. I don't know if I don't think he'll be top 5. I wouldn't write him off that he's going to be out. He's not going to be Russell Wilson is what I'm saying.
He might be like a QB1 though again.
Agreed.
There's potential.
Yeah.
He's a top 10 quarterback, you think?
I think there's potential he could do that, yeah. It wasn't that long ago he was, 3rd quarterback off the board.
He just didn't look good last year.
He didn't look good, but I think that someone like that, I don't see someone like that just falling away
He
forever
started
like
6
that.
games. Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? He looked terrible, Jordan. I couldn't agree with you more, but it was just a really weird, as it should have been, of course,
I think he's a great dynasty target for a quarterback. I think Goff is another guy I would try to get on his contract year. Maybe if you're not, you're not on Goff.
I think Hendon Hooker is a good dynasty
Well,
target.
yeah, but that's kind of like a rookie draft where you'll be able to draft him this year, right? Like I'm talking more of trade wise stuff. I do think Hooker's good too.
Why? What's the point of trading for? Again, it depends what state where your team's at, right?
If you're a win now team, like super flex, I think Goff's a great guy to trade for.
I agree if you're in a win now type of deal.
If you're a quarterback away. Saints tight ends, I kind of mentioned this earlier. Derek Carr always seems to be a tight end guy.
He has Jawan Johnson,
Jawan
right?
Johnson, I think, could be a guy you could get later in drafts
and then Foster Moreau, right?
Yeah, so he's got 2 of those guys there.
They still have a Troutman or any of those other guys there?
I don't think Troutman's there anymore. But yeah, it could be a total. What are we?
They got Taysom Hill, Jesse James. Yeah. So it's Taysom Hill's Foster Moreau, Juwan Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting to see what role Taysom Hill has this year.
I think he's still going to be involved.
He's a
full-time
offensive player, not a quarterback, right?
Yeah, like you said when we talk best ball, Jordan. I think he's a guy I always try to go after.
Because those
Taysom
couple weeks
Hill.
he blows up.
Yeah.
I just don't know what with the Derek Carr being there, how would it affect him?
Well, they don't really have a running back right now, right?
Yeah.
So maybe Taysom Hill gets a lot more goal line carries.
Taysom Hill's 32 years old. He's on the older side.
He's up there.
What do they I'm just trying to remember what they listed him as. A tight end is what. I think they'll be very creative with how they use him.
I think so too. Another
where is Sean Payton at, by the way? I forget. Where's he coaching at?
Broncos.
Man, it would not shock me if somehow Taysom Hill ends up in the Broncos.
That wouldn't shock me either, no.
Because that is Sean Payton's guy.
Yeah.
The moment he's a free agent, he's going to wherever Sean Payton is. Because that's his guy.
Yeah.
Sean Payton's the only guy who ever believed in him to be an actual quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is I actually was looking at that they use that, they called that kind of position like a joker position in the offense. They're saying Greg Dulcich, the guy who had a couple weird, crazy games at the Broncos, is going to be playing that role. Sean Payton's using him as that role.
Yep, I can see that.
That's crazy.
I just read that right now because I saw someone drop them. But anyways, I just thought that was interesting.
So
They made that connection.
I'm in a Superflex Dynasty League. I need a quarterback. Brady retired.
That's
I
me.
got Joe Burrow as my other guy. I need to find. That's it. My other quarterback is
So you-
Matt Corral. Okay.
What's your draft position?
He's number
5.
Oh,
You can get one.
You might be able to get.
I think I'm going to get Levis there at 5 in a Superflex.
No, so you have Young, Stroud,
Richardson,
Richardson.
Hooker, and Levis.
Yeah,
Levis
you're gonna get
before
Levis.
Hooker.
But yeah, so see, my team started out 8.
Can you trade up?
I don't know. My team started out 8-0. Then Brady started playing bad. Cooper Kupp got hurt. So my team, it was the startup was last year. We were really good, but we're old. So we started out 8-0. Then we were terrible after Cooper Kupp got hurt, right? But now we need a quarterback. Like, I'm just trying to scrape something together with our quarterback in that league. I'm trying to get Desmond Ridder in that league. The guy won't even get. It's at that point.
Trent, I would trade up.
You think? Yeah, I don't know if anyone
Trade
will
up and
do
get
it.
Stroud or Young
That's
or
what I was.
Richardson.
That's what I've been trying to do. I was thinking that I might be able to get Ridder cheaper, but the guy's kind of like,
But
you have no
Trent,
quarterback. I'm just
Do
not
you
going to
think
trade.
that those 3 guys are all going to be really good players?
I do, but it's also kind of where these guys are like, hey, it's super flex. We need a
Or
quarterback.
you tank
also.
and get Caleb Williams for next year?
Well, you know,
Yeah,
Trent, you could
trade
get.
for that.
No,
actually,
just suck all year and you'll get Caleb Williams.
Well, I should trade my first round pick for another first round pick next year and have
Yes,
2 next year,
yes.
maybe. But like Desmond Ridder, I know you don't love him, Jordan, but like I think Drake London's gonna be better this year. I think Kyle Pitts should be better this year. I think Bijan's gonna really open that up. He should be able to be like a serviceable quarterback in that offense that I think you might be able to get Ridder on the cheap and maybe he's okay. Like
He may not.
super flex, like maybe not a redraft, but super flex dynasty. I think it's not bad to trade some stuff for Ridder.
No, I agree. I mean, and look at the division too. I think that helps him a little bit.
What are your takes on like Jahan Dotson, Jordan? You like Dotson?
I like Dotson a lot. I think Sam Howell's not. Trent, I'm going to this might sound crazy. Sam Howell over Desmond Ridder.
You would say that? I liked what I saw out of Howell last year. Unfortunately, I got Matt Corral in the startup last year, not Sam Howell. But
Maybe you guys
Why
should.
look good.
You lean
Washington.
Yes,
Yeah.
you lean Commanders, huh?
His dad's
My dad's a Commanders fan, but that has nothing to do with it.
But I feel like he always he subtly he'll
yeah.
toss in like a Commander thing here. every
Sam
once in a while.
Howell was good in college.
No, I know, but like I feel like you always periodically will just throw in
You
a
guys,
Commander.
you guys should look at his fantasy season projections. Like they're up there with Stroud and Young.
really.
They're up there.
Trent, I would like in the Reds. I almost said that. The Commanders. Sorry, the Commanders they didn't draft a quarterback. They feel pretty now. They're just waiting until next year.
Yeah.
But I think I'd rather go after Sam Howell than I would Desmond Ridder.
And that might be easier.
Is Sam Howell owned in that league?
I
doubt
believe he is. Well, it's a super flex. So super
Oh,
flex
so your most
dynasty guys just go.
yeah, but he was
quarterbacks.
like number 3 last year.
Yeah, but he played and so he played usually in that league. If a guy's
You're right. You're right.
Trent, for what
But
it's worth,
he's open in ours.
he's.
In-
I was saying in
the-
our league that we're all in, he
Someone
is
pick him.
open.
Actually, I did have.
Yeah, I'm
Brady
looking
over
at him right here.
yeah. Here's another one,
He'll
Jordan.
probably get drafted in our.
You might be able to trade for this guy. Like running backs' lifespans are pretty short in dynasty football. This guy's only 25. Najee Harris. He's still on his first-year contract. They have that 5th-year option. The Steelers, and I'll even say Kenny Pickett might be a guy you can throw into this because they kept their offensive coordinator, they kept their quarterback, and they kept their head coach. Like I could see Pickett being okay. I think Najee is going to be really good. They drafted what's that guy's name? Roderick, the left tackle. Is that his name? Was Roderick? So they've beefed up that offensive.
It's Broderick. Right?
Broderick, yeah, the perfect bully name. But Najee Harris, he had a lot of receptions last year. I think he had the 5th most receptions for wide receivers. Here's the deal with these running backs on their first-year contract. These NFL teams want to get all the juice they can out of the orange. So they are just going to squeeze it and give these guys the ball a lot. I think Najee's a great dynasty asset right now. And he didn't have a good year last year, but he's still got a couple years left. They're going to just I could see Najee being really good, and I think Pickett might take a leap also, just another year in the NFL, another season. Do you like any of those receivers, Jordan? You like Pickens more than I know you don't like Pickens more, but you might be able to trade George Pickens for something.
I'm a Pickens guy. I like
you
Pickens
like
a
Pickens
lot,
more
yeah.
than who's the other guy you like?
Well, Deontay.
You like Deontay, so you would
But
try
there's
to
no
trade.
Claypool anymore.
Yeah, so you would trade for Pickens potentially.
I like
then.
Pickens a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
What I'm just looking at my dynasty team and kind of just looking at names here. Kamara. What would you do with Kamara if you have Kamara?
I don't think you can get a lot out of running backs like that. Is what you know what I mean? Like
You probably just hold on to him, right?
I think you have to hold on to him or trade him for a second round draft pick to a guy that might win. You know, and maybe
Yeah.
you get a lucky
the
dart throw.
problem with my dynasty team, is that I'm one of the better. Like I feel like I have
So
a
you-
team that's worthy of you could win.
You might want to try to trade him for a first round draft pick to somebody. You know what I mean? Like Seth
Yeah.
won, his belt's on the table here. Maybe you trade him to Seth or something. You know
My
what I mean?
team
Like,
still looks really good for what it's worth.
yeah, and you're decently young. But yeah,
My team's pretty young.
What do you? Okay, another guy. Just throw a guy here. What would you? If you have what do you think Calvin Ridley's worth? He's a very interesting guy, I think, because, I know in this league he was my first round draft pick. I think in this league that I've held on to, and he hasn't played since. But what's his value like? What do you think his value?
I think
His value.
I think it's good.
I'm
I
also
think it's
very
good.
curious what he'll get, where he'll be drafted in redraft leagues too. I think we may have actually talked about this already.
Yeah,
did
we
a little
need
bit,
to. Well, no, I think that's
because all the reports are out of camp are great. They said you could tell that Trevor Lawrence and him have been working together quite a bit. It'll be very interesting to see what his value is.
I think he's going to be really good. I think you could probably sell him for a lot too. Though, if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Would you trade him? What would it take for you to if you had him on your roster? I'm not going to trade him. I'm really excited about Ridley, but just curious. So for example, let's say you had Calvin Ridley on your team, with the quarterback. Would you trade Calvin Ridley for the first overall pick?
I think I would if the person was willing. I think I'd do that.
Yeah.
So would you? Basically, what you're saying is, would you trade Calvin Ridley for Bijan?
No, I'm talking about in a super flex. It'd be for your choice of the quarterback.
Yeah, it just depends. If you had a good team last year and you didn't have Ridley, your teams would be a lot better with Ridley, but you could trade him for a lot.
Curious what Ridley did it, in all these dynasty leagues. Did he just get picked up end of the year last year?
Maybe I don't see guys dropping someone like that in dynasty leagues.
But last year, if you would have drafted, you knew he wasn't playing. You knew he was suspended for the whole year. He probably got drafted at some point, anyways.
Probably so. Yeah,
He's
Didn't you
for what
snag
it's
him
worth.
late?
He's 4%
Oh,
rostered.
yeah, no,
is what it says right now.
Oh, he's 4%. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe Sleeper hasn't updated or
Yeah.
something. But that might be in account redraft leagues too.
Yeah.
But
What about DJ Moore? Sorry, I'm just looking at my roster.
No,
Just curious. What do you think he does in Chicago? You think it's better, worse?
I think he'll be a little bit better than he was last year for sure, right? We need to get some rankings out here, which we should be doing. It's June, so we should start working on those, getting those together. I think DJ Moore, I like the fit. And I think I probably like it more for Justin Fields, to make me want to draft Justin Fields more than I like DJ Moore. Maybe he gets in the end zone a little bit more after this season.
Oh, we were going to talk about Saints running backs anyway, so I'm glad I brought that
Yeah, no, it's perfect.
Kamara up. Who else is there? It's Condre Miller
What about, yeah,
in Saints. Who else? Who else do they have? Kamara, Condre Miller. Who
they're
else?
excited about Miller.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they're
there's
excited
another
about
guy.
it.
Who else is there though? There's one more guy.
Latavius Murray.
No,
I'm
it's
just kidding.
somebody else.
My computer's loading. It should tell me.
Mark Ingram.
Is Mark Ingram still there?
I feel like
I
no.
don't
I
think he is. I don't think he is. But it wouldn't surprise me if he was. Jamal Williams, guys.
Jamal Williams,
Phil, you
Phil's
should know
boy,
that.
Jamal
You
Williams.
see his visor? He had an anime character on his visor.
I didn't see it.
This is pretty nice.
I
What-
think you're talking about Demetric Felton. That's my boy.
Yeah. What about the LSU helmets that are air conditioned?
That's sweet.
That's what we need right now on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is what we need. We should get some of those. I think if I was a coach, I'd let my guys wear them in games, not in practice. I think you just got to tough it out.
No, I think I'd flip.
Why? Why be comfortable in practice and not the game? You put your helmet on in the game, and you're like, wow, this is amazing.
No, there's some long practices. Practices are way tougher than games most times.
I know, that's why I just feel like trained to be rough. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
The game should be easier than
The
practice.
game
No,
should
I
be
get what
easier
you're
to
saying,
practice.
but I feel like preparing I don't know.
it'd be stupid to wear them in
will
practice and
say-
not the game.
At LSU,
No.
I'm sure their practices
Oh,
feel
it's-
awful. In
That's
the
what I'm
summer.
saying.
That's got to be a huge recruiting tool, though, to have AC helmets.
Yeah.
I just wonder
The
if
problem
you
is
hear it
everyone's gonna
sound.
have them
Everyone's
pretty
gonna get
soon.
'em.
Does
Yeah.
it sound like a fan in your helmet? Like, that would get
I don't
annoying. You
know.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you have 100,000 fans screaming there anyways. What's fan gonna do?
Not
No,
in
I'm
practice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Maybe in practice they do too.
I
don't
forgot Trent said no at practice. That's what he's thinking
Oh.
through.
I'm saying no practice, yes games. But I guess you're not gonna swap out helmets.
Yeah.
know. Hey, what? Dalvin Cook he's not going to be there anymore, is he?
I don't think he's gonna be there unless he says, "Hey, I don't want to test out the open market. I'll just stay here for cheap." He could do that.
Yeah.
They did say Madison would be the every down back, 3 down back if he's not playing.
But even like Madison, like I'm just looking at Dynasty here, Jordan. How old is Madison? Like that's even a guy that like if you have a good,
He's probably
24,
older than
24. He's not.
He's only
yes.
24.
Yeah.
4 years experience, 24. So yeah, I guess that's not a terrible trade candidate to go after Madison. Maybe the guy maybe like someone thinks he's old because he's been in the league long, but like,
he also has been banged up as well.
yeah, but 27 is kind of the age for running backs
I'm
where
just
the
saying-
wheels
I'm just-
start falling off.
I'm just saying, like wasn't he pretty banged up last year?
I
I'm
just
talking about his resilience being the ever down back. That's the thing.
Madison or Cook? Who's?
Cook.
I
doesn't
want to
have
say
very
Madison.
resilience.
No, he doesn't. I want to say Madison got hurt as well last year, but I could be wrong. I could be way off. I was pretty sure Madison missed a couple games.
I'm not
Maybe
sure,
with some
Phil.
planner. I know you've been
Yeah.
tweeting at people with.
No,
planner.
there's people out there. Planner's a real deal, man. Steve has it. Sauce has had it. I've had it. Just a lot of normal A+ athletes. What else am I looking at?
That's where I would categorize all of you for the most part. Yeah, that sounds.
Jordan,
about right.
Michael Thomas. What are you doing? I offered you a
I
trade
know,
for Michael
I
Thomas
don't-
for a third
I'm
round
looking
pick.
at it right now.
You're the biggest Michael Thomas truther ever. and you
I
didn't
don't
accept
still
it.
like. Okay, one, I need to look at my team a little more. I already have Kamara. Let's talk through the trade right now on the
yeah,
pod.
like you love Michael Thomas. If Mike, here's how it works, Jordan. If I lose Michael Thomas, the curse will be over. He'll be back to his real self. I'm only holding him so that he'll stay bad.
So here's my dilemma.
if I dropped him, he'd pick him up and he'd be good again.
Yeah.
Here's my receivers: Stephon Diggs, Deontay Johnson, Marquise Brown, Calvin Ridley, DJ Moore, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Van Jefferson, Elijah Moore, Jamison Williams. Like, am I ever gonna play Michael Thomas?
It'd be nice to have the opportunity if needed, and you could break the curse. Take him from my clutches.
I mean, what? I guess I'm not gonna draft
What are you
anyone in the
saying?
third round, anyways. I'll think about it, Trent.
Okay. So,
Hey, should we do like a little like this, talk through like a first round like draft in Dynasty?
yeah,
be-
I just thought about pulling up a mock.
Like, should we just? No, we don't do a mock. But let's just talk through it.
What's I'm saying?
like, who would
Yeah.
be your number one overall
yeah,
right now?
yeah.
A
So
super
Trent,
flex or
Trent,
normal?
you have number one overall in this super flex that we have.
I'm just gonna do a mock real quick and just let it go, and then
I think I have to go Bijan, right?
We're in
I-
a super flex.
think
Who's
so?
your quarterbacks?
I got Rodgers, Derek Carr,
Yeah, you should be taking a quarterback.
Ritter, Willis, Purdy.
You should 100% be taking one of Stroud or.
I still want to see if I can trade somebody around here.
So
I'm
okay,
hoping I can get another pick here or trade Henry to somebody.
so
or
it's okay.
something.
First overall, let's do a super flex. Because do you feel like most dynasty leagues are super flex or non super flex?
I think it's starting to lean more super flex,
Yeah.
actually.
okay.
So
Do you want me to tell you what I'm seeing here?
What are you seeing?
So this is a 10 round. I'm the 10th pick. Bijan went first. Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, Jameer Gibbs, C.J. Stroud, Smith and Jigba, Quentin Johnson, Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers, and then now it's me at 10.
So I think I'm fine with Bijan at 1. I think it's crazy that Gibbs went over Richardson or Stroud.
I think so
Like
too.
it should be the first 4 picks in any order should be Bijan plus the 3 quarterbacks.
I don't know if these teams are basically picking on the other teams because we already know the draft.
They're not
order.
based on okay.
I don't know if they're based on the teams that they're drafting.
I don't
for.
think they are.
I'm not sure. So
But like, don't you think that like for the most part, it should be Bijan and the 3 quarterbacks, first 4 picks?
That's kind of what I've been thinking.
yeah,
That's what I've been thinking.
I don't think you're gonna be able to get either of them. If you're at 6, I don't think you're going to be able to get the 2 running backs and the 3
And 5
quarterbacks.
should be Gibbs. So 6 is where you have like the run on receivers.
You have 6 through 10. You probably have the receivers you want.
And here's my problem, Trent. Why am I going to trade you a 3rd round pick for Michael Thomas when I'm going to be able to draft
Michael
most
Thomas used to
likely
be the
one
best
of-
guy, best receiver in the NFL.
one of
years ago.
JSN, Quentin Johnson,
You saw his
Jordan
first game
Addison?
of the season. Like, he's proven.
For what it's worth, it's telling me to pick Kincaid at 10.
See,
Kincaid
I
at
don't want.
10.
I don't
Kids
want to
don't-
take Kincaid.
Okay,
The
so let's-
next guy is Charbonnet, Seahawks.
Some guys are going to take Will Levis in the first round, too.
Yeah, Levis will probably.
Yeah, Levis is there. But I mean, Michael Mayer is above, Keandre Miller at New Orleans too.
And you're at pick 10, Seth?
I'm at pick 10.
If you don't have a tight end, Kincaid's not horrible, but
I think Charbonnet would be better.
a sneaky guy for the
That's
rookie
so
drafts.
that's so sketchy. How many people did that with Kyle Pitts?
I
And he did finish as a high tight end his rookie
Pitts
year.
was probably going even higher in Dynasty.
Yes.
But that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wouldn't. I think there's so many tight ends in this. Like, I just want a bunch of 3rd round picks in this draft, just so I can just go random at different tight ends.
Trent, you have how many picks? I trade you my 2nd away. So Trent, you have 5 picks in our draft here.
I know. I'm trying to have the draft party by myself only.
So
but
you
no one else will.
have 2 5 and you have 2 10.
I would
Yeah.
appreciate if we could make that happen. I'd prefer not to come.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Any other football stuff here on Dynasty Talk you guys want to talk about before we get into divas here?
No.
No, we
I,
can do
I think so. I don't know if we do this next week, Jordan, or maybe in a couple of weeks. We're gonna do some rankings soon, but I want to do a draft. Okay, a mock draft like we've done.
Real quick before you keep going, Phil. Trent takes Bijan. Who you taking? Who you taking? What quarterback?
Because
Considering-
I need a quarterback.
Considering you have Mac Jones and Carson Wentz.
How's he have
You
this
might
pick?
be-
He made it to
But
the
no, you have
semifinals.
Jalen Hurts.
I have
though.
Jalen Hurts and Kyler Murray, but I don't want Kyler Murray, and I don't.
Oh,
Want,
I didn't see.
well, I'd like to
You
keep
started-
Kyler Murray. I
Kyler
will.
Murray will be good when he comes back.
You
but
ended the
need
year
a
with
filler.
Carson
Correct.
Wentz and
That's why I got spanked in the finals.
Hey Phil, honestly, what's crazy is you go by team's needs here. Phil doesn't necessarily need a high caliber quarterback.
I lied. Phil's draft position number 9.
That's what
Never
I
mind.
thought
I'm
because
pretty
I was
deep.
like,
Yeah, so you're not going to get a quarterback.
I'm likely not. Yeah.
You might have to draft like a already existing
No.
quarterback.
Yeah.
You might have to take Will Levis.
I might or Hal,
You could take
Oh,
Levis.
Al.
Yeah.
Hal or Levis,
Yeah.
but probably all the people. In
Phil
the league
is the
listen
guy
to
that always takes people that like are already on a team in the
Yeah.
rookie draft.
The thing is, if
Anyway,
you don't
sorry,
get him,
Trent.
someone else
Tell
is
me-
going to pick him up.
Tell me about if this idea is good. Maybe we'll do it next week. Maybe we'll do it in a couple weeks. I want to do a mock draft with us 4, okay? But I want us all to share the team, and we'll go like Phil has first round, 2nd, 3rd, 4th,
Yeah.
and we can't talk about what we want to do. So like if Phil takes someone in the first round, we all judge that pick in the mock
It's
draft.
like an arranged marriage.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that'd be good.
Phil's just asking to get roasted.
Okay, yeah. So, anyways, guys,
Just
today's
blindfold yourselves, and we'll all pick.
Today's
Close your eyes.
divas are brought to you by Manscaped. The modern man is a man who takes care of himself. Manscaping isn't just for life special occasions. It's a requirement for optimal health, superior hygiene, and healthy self-esteem. You now have the right tools for a safe, precise grooming and hard-to-navigate sensitive areas, plus post-trimming products and all kinds of grooming needs, from deodorant to cologne to whatever. We got the weed whacker here on the table for, those stray nose hairs, ears hairs. It's got a flashlight on it, works great. So go to Manscaped.
The working man's tool.
The working man's tool, the weed whacker. You heard
Should
it
we
here
pitch
first.
him? Should we pitch him an idea while we have him? I'm sure we have our rep listening to our ad reads.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would love nothing more than some Manscaped socks. They don't have socks.
They do have underwear that are wonderful.
They have underwear that are wonderful that keep everything cool.
Everything.
So if you get socks, I don't know about
Am I
you
wearing
guys,
them
but
right now?
my feet,
I am.
He is.
He
Seth's
is.
got some
I'm wearing
skates
it right
on
now.
right
my
now.
feet sweat, and having
Recognize
some nice,
the gold band.
Mm-hmm.
You said socks, Trent.
Oh, no.
Seth just showed us his. Yeah.
My
All right.
underwear?
We're trying to keep this PG on YouTube, Seth.
Yeah.
I was just checking.
I'm also, just for what it's worth, I just did a
Socks.
double check. Hey, socks, yeah, we should get back. Don't you think they help sweat everywhere else? Why not socks?
Why not socks? And, socks are not.
And that would
my
be their
biggest
ad
thing.
read. Why not socks?
And
Why
feet
not
sweat can be the
socks?
worst kind of sweat.
Absolutely. You were talking about Vaseline in your socks while you sleep, Seth, or before the pod.
That's you, Phil.
So anyways,
What
enter
is that
promo
even
code
for?
dudes20, 20% off your whole entire order, guys. Really helps us out. Maybe you just want to get a t-shirt, whatever. Enter that dudes20, 20% off. Really helps us out. But if you really want to help us out, guys, go ahead and take this podcast and share it with a friend. You know, if you enjoy us whispering in your ears, maybe you'll enjoy someone else. You know, maybe someone else will enjoy us whispering in their ears. So don't be rude. Share the dudes. Really helps us out. Give us a follow on Instagram and Twitter at TFF Dudes. Like this video and subscribe on YouTube at TFF Dudes as well. So let's get into our divas here, guys. My diva list is filled up. I'm a couple weeks behind, but I went to the Dodgers-Yankees baseball game yesterday, so I wanted to bring that up. Do you guys have divas? Or are you guys good?
I have a diva.
I have one.
Sounds
Okay.
like we all have one.
All right. Yeah,
you have
are
three.
one.
You
Okay,
have three.
Hey, seriously, don't look at my
I-
computer,
Hey,
man.
I got
Like,
a really
I'm
good one.
seriously sick and tired of this.
One of us start it off, and then Trent can fill in one of his divas in between each one of
Okay.
All
us.
right,
go.
so let's hear yours. Go ahead, Seth.
Okay, so I will go first.
I'm praying it's not one of Jordan's good ones, but go
Yeah.
ahead.
No,
Like,
this-
walked into the bathroom.
So I went to a party last night. I'm not going to try to make this very specific,
Okay, all right.
but my diva of the week is people trying to make the party about them when it's not about them.
Okay.
That's good.
Can you just?
I'll elaborate. I went to a wedding, and this
Okay.
person, it's not their wedding, so don't try to make it about you.
Speaking of weddings, we got Grandel Entertainment in here. You know, if you have any wedding needs,
you have a wedding,
go check them
call
out on
him.
Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah. Run their cams.
So what was it? Can you say what this person was doing specifically?
This
or-
person definitely wore an outfit that made them like stand out from everybody else. So like
The
it's-
bride?
No.
Oh, okay.
And usually the bride is
They were in the wedding party.
Yes, usually the bride is the main piece, right? The bride and the groom. That's the whole
Yeah.
party's about them.
main focus.
So when people on purpose dress themselves in a way to make them the main focus, not okay.
Especially
Because
at a wedding.
everyone in the
At a
bridal
wedding.
party should match, right?
No,
Outside of the
no,
bride.
There's,
sometimes-
there's a new
sometimes
thing where the bridesmaids don't match anymore.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
different, and I'm not gonna say
And I'm
who
thankful
it
I
is.
didn't
I
have
don't
to
think
get
they're gonna
married
listen to
during that
this,
time.
but anyways, it's sad. It's
If they're
very
not going to
diva,
listen, name them. Let's
and
go.
it's usually women. I'll say that it's usually women.
Oh,
I've
hey.
seen Trent do it a handful of times at parties I've gone to.
Yeah, well, Phil made me wear that Dumb and Dumber outfit, and I was orange. He was baby
Yeah, we're
blue.
at church today, and this guy made it about himself. Sat right next to me. There was Jordan. Jordan has a friend he sits by at church, and they always have a seat between them, which I respect. Sometimes I'll sit in the middle just to
Why do
fire
I
'em
want to
up.
sit next to somebody if I don't have to?
It's true.
Trent sat next to me and lifts the arm of the chair up. I'm like,
And then
true.
proceeds to lean.
Hey,
Yeah.
I went to church by myself with
He
my
was lonely,
kids.
Phil.
You know, my wife wasn't feeling the best, and so I took my daughter to church, and you know, it was first time going to church.
both daughters.
Just one daughter.
You said kids in the tweet.
It's true, Trent.
Talk about lying. All right.
Phil, don't even talk.
seriously. Yeah, Phil's over here talking about how much he hates buffets, but on this pod, he has talked about how much he loves KFC buffet in Oakhurst,
Yeah, and it's
how he
good.
wishes they brought it back.
Yeah.
But he hates buffets when it comes to draft
That was
time.
before. Yeah, I'm not.
Oh,
Gonna say it.
anyways, liar, Phil.
Okay,
That's
give
even
us,
your real
give
name.
us one of your.
Trent, I want to hear your divas.
Alrighty, I have.
That was a nice draft that just came through while you're
Yeah,
thinking. I'm
yeah.
just trying to.
No.
You're taking a little bit of time. I'm trying to fill
people
the space.
sitting in the wrong seats.
Oh yeah.
You gotta hate that. You know what I mean? And, hey, if it's the fifth inning or whatever, and you're sitting in the wrong seats, or you decide to check it out, that's fine. But I had 3 different people sit next to me at this game, and they were not there. Like people kept going, "Hey, I don't think this is your seat," and I'm like, "They're not showing tickets. All the tickets are digital." So like, I guess the people just got lucky and said like, I don't know how it
Trent,
happened.
that's a big thing for what it's worth. People buy especially at like really expensive
I understand
stadiums.
that. I would
I
wait.
understand
though.
it. You know, it's annoying though if it's like, hey, you're in my seat.
It is
Oh
annoying.
yeah.
I don't.
You wait 3 innings. I think that's the happy medium before you go find a new seat.
So I had a guy sitting next to me in the first inning. I had a different guy sitting next to me in the third inning, and then the 5th inning, guy was from Connecticut watching Yankees Dodgers.
It was funny. He'd cut his fingers off.
No,
like three
no,
days before.
no. He like got there in the 3rd inning and he left in like the 5th. Like I was like,
Yeah.
I thought
Well,
I
he
don't know.
probably bought like a $10 ticket for what it's worth.
I don't know. He told me those were his tickets, but maybe not. But he left his
Well, if he's-
popcorn, and so I got to take a souvenir Dodger popcorn bucket home. So that was kind of cool.
How's
Nice.
this story, Jordan?
Someone
great.
else go. Someone else go.
All right.
Yeah,
go.
I'll just keep going.
Okay.
I had the
Hurry
worst
up and
Dodger
go.
dog.
Making it about
worst
himself,
Dodger dog in
Seth.
my entire life. Go to my Twitter page. It was like the tips were like completely folded on both sides. They left it in the heater forever. It was basically like a Slim Jim in a bun with ketchup.
Why didn't you ask for another one? That was like $15 down the drain.
They're not that much, are they?
$7.50.
They're not cheap.
Yeah.
They're
So
not cheap.
normally I like the Dodger dogs. That one was bad. Maybe it's because I got the all beef, so it was all dried out. Like I actually got the super Dodger dog. I should have just stayed with the normal Dodger dog.
I think you got to go all beef, but if this is me, and maybe this is
It
wrong.
was
Maybe
so
I'm a diva.
dry, Phil.
Maybe
So dry.
maybe I'm a diva. If I have something that doesn't taste good and it's like abnormal, I will be like, hey, listen, here's the thing. I just paid $7.50 for this. This tastes absolutely terrible. Look at this. Can I have another one? And most of the times, people are like, yeah, of course, no problem. I think that's what you should have done.
I just can't believe you're getting a hot dog at a baseball game, and there's a million other things you could get.
You're shocked that you got a hot dog at a Dodger dog at a Dodger
That's what
game.
you're supposed to do.
That's
isn't
like
it?
one of
I've
the
never
most-
gotten a Dodger.
we got garlic fries. We got all kinds
You
of
get
stuff.
you,
But yeah, I
you
always
get a
get the-
bunch of different things.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
I prefer to
I'm
get
also
there
not a
early
hot
and
dog.
get food.
I don't really
before.
like hot dogs. that
I
much.
want to get there early and try food before the game,
At the
and
stadium.
then like during the game, I want to eat the hot dog during the game,
That's fair.
a good
and then I
move.
want to sit and watch the rest.
and then have a danger dog.
I
in the
will.
parking lot
I've heard. I
after.
haven't been to a baseball game this year. I heard that it's a lot harder to get food now because you miss a whole 2 innings if you go get food.
It
Oh,
is true.
it's
It goes
bad.
fast. So
It's
I do
bad.
like the new pitch clock, but it goes fast. And then you've all had this happen. Have you gone to a baseball game? For whatever reason, there's about 5 people sitting, and I don't feel like it's bad in other sports, but you go to a baseball game and there's about 5 people sitting by you that know way more than the manager that should be coaching the team.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like, you have to swing at that. You can't not watch that
Yeah.
pitch. Like,
No.
how do you drop that ball? Like,
These guys are all just.
you know what I'm talking
geniuses,
about? Like,
yeah.
there's,
Yeah.
I
They're all
don't know.
getting paid millions of dollars. to
Maybe
sit
it's
there
just
and
me,
talk.
but I
Shockingly,
happen to
that's what
they're
we're
all-
doing right now, just
yeah.
for what it's worth. That's
That's what-
literally what our podcast
no,
is.
No, but
Yeah.
baseball's different. You have the guy there keeping score while he's watching the
Oh,
game. Like, what are
yes.
you doing?
Why are
You
they
know what I mean?
keeping
Yes.
score?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
You have a third diva, Trent?
That was it.
Nah, that was it.
I agree with you though, Trent. And you had good seats.
I think
even
that's
if
every
you're good
sport
seats.
for what
It is crazy that people were like not usually at that close to the home plate. They're like checking the tickets a little better.
That's why I was surprised.
No, they really should be because it's bad if people are not have those. If the people because those tickets aren't cheap for what it's worth. The Dodger Stadium, that's one of the most high end tickets like
Well,
up there.
And the other thing is too, it's like Yankee fans. So there was the most
Obnoxious.
most
fans.
people at a Dodger game
That's
this
a pretty
year.
yeah.
And these Yankee fans are just, heckling
Chirping.
Aaron Boone, like they just are letting him have it, how much smarter they are than all of him. But maybe he's not that great anyways. But yeah, those are my 3. Sorry. Maybe they weren't as good as normal. I got some great ones for future episodes.
Boone's a
Bill's
New
probably
York
steal.
legend though, right?
Thought he played for.
He hit
I
that
don't know.
bomb, didn't he? Against didn't he come in and pinch it and hit that bomb? Am I
Couldn't
thinking
tell
of the
ya.
wrong person?
Couldn't tell you.
I
You're thinking of Daniel Boone.
No. So I talked about this with Trent a little bit, and I'm gonna get some flack, and I'll do some explaining. We talk about universal health care, universal income, world peace. We talk about
where is this going?
we
right
talk
now?
about universal like dollars. Like everyone's all on board about all this universal stuff, right? My biggest beef is universal charging. Okay, I have a charger for my iPhone. I have a charger for like a different USB, like not a USB, like a different set, like a speaker that I take outside for my children. I have a different charger for my TV, as an example. Like I think all chargers should be the same.
You
When
have
I
a charger for your TV?
No, that was just a bad example. But when I'm using iPad, whatever it is, when I have for my kid's tablet, my kid's Fire tablet has a different charger than an iPad. I also have a
The
different
difference-
charger than for.
No one wants to share that technology though.
No one wants.
No,
but that's the thing.
everyone shares the technology. You guys are just ignorant.
This is why can't we have everything be the same? I know it's
Because
like
everyone has the
No.
same USB-C cord charger except iPhone, Phil.
not Amazon. The Amazon
does.
tablet.
You have
No,
an old
the Amazon.
tablet. You have an old tablet.
It's the 4th generation.
How many generations are there?
I think there's 6, so it's at least 2 years old. That's not that old.
USB-C is what the world runs off of, and any Android listener would tell you that. But all Android phones are USB-C. That's the new cord. My baby monitor for my kid is USB-C. My Nintendo Switch charger is USB-C. This here for this iPad is USB-C. iPhone just hasn't switched to it yet. I'm
'Cause
sorry.
Well,
iPhone's
prayerfully.
still
So
better? Is
so what
iPhone
you're
still
saying.
better?
So what you're saying is what I'm wishing for is around the corner.
It's around the corner, but yeah, they finally
Prayers
did it.
up.
Yeah, but Trent, my laptop is in charge on USB-C.
And is a new
Yeah,
laptop.
But the
It's-
laptop's different.
But what I'm
laptop's
asking
different.
for
It's a
is
bigger- it's a
universal.
bigger
Jordan,
charger.
do you get what I'm saying though? Figure it out though.
Yeah,
Technology.
Yeah. Why don't you just get my jumper cables there, and then that can be USB-C also, Phil. Like,
I'm gonna
great
stick them on your
idea.
ears and I don't know. I can't believe you don't like this one, Jordan. This
I
is
just
right
think
up
this
your
is something
alley.
that's like, it's like,
It's
what do you?
something-
Why are you complaining about this? Like,
Sounds
just,
like an old man.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am a little bit old man, but it takes me far too long to find charge. Seth, you
But
have
Phil,
small kids.
everyone agrees
Trent,
with
you
the-
have small kids.
everyone-
It's so hard to find like the cord to charge specific items. I have 3 different
will say,
cords.
I do
my
find it-
iPhone
I
is
do-
what messes me up the most.
I will say I do find it like quite annoying sometimes when I'm like trying to something that I've like had for a while, and I'm like, where's the stinking cord?
That's what I'm saying. Sound machine is different than the tablet.
Actually,
It's-
the sound machine's the same as this. My sound machine. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm telling you, this is a great
It's
diva.
it's around
it's a
the
great
corner.
diva. It should have been brought up 5 years ago, though,
Can
when
I
all
ask-
the
can
droid
I-
people were bringing up. But you hate
Can
droid
I get
people.
some? Can I get some fan? Can I just ask the fan something and potentially you guys? Is it a diva of me? I'm very interested in buying a pair of Tevas. Do you guys know what Tevas are? Those
Shoes?
the sandals. They have like
Yes,
the
but
interlacing
Get
sandals.
them. Yeah, get them. Sure.
What do you guys think? Diva buying those
I gotta
Tevas?
look at this first.
Let's look at it. Look them up. Real
I just
quick.
bought those
How's it
canes right
spelled
there.
with
Those
an
are
E or an I?
athletic
Yeah,
Crocs.
Teva.
Canes are athletic Crocs. They're
TE.
very nice.
TEVA
Not a sponsor of
men's
the pod.
sandal.
This is like Phil
Yeah,
went whitewater rafting, and
you
our
know,
guide
Phil,
was wearing these. So
you
he's
can
gonna
wear
get 'em.
these while you go puke on the side of the road, and it fits together.
Yeah, I feel like while you're mountain hiking with your dirty toes.
So should I not get these? Is what you're saying?
Why
I
would you
feel
wear
like
those?
these
Phil?
are more
You
of a
don't
power move than flip flops.
feel that.
And I have plantar fasciitis.
I wear flip flops for practicality. Okay,
You
I
have
don't want
plantar, and it's causing worse plantar.
I could.
No,
I'm not
Crocs
saying
are
that.
better than
Phil, just-
Tevas are not made
why
for
don't-
plantar.
Why
I
don't
can
you
tell
just?
you that.
Why don't you just wear flip flops?
because my plantar's messed up.
Do you have plantar?
Yeah, I
Just buy
Sometimes it hurts,
Crocs.
sometimes it doesn't.
Just
Huh.
wear Crocs.
no, it
I
always
feel
is a
great
little
right
bit
now.
achy.
I feel yeah.
Jordan, I would never. I don't think you'd ever catch me or Jordan ever wearing.
I would
these
never
shoes.
wear those.
Yeah, since
never
you
wear
guys are the
these
pinnacle
shoes.
of style, I'd love to hear. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, they're both here wearing a button-up shirt.
They're going to
hottest pod in
Sadie's.
America.
They're
I
going
wore
to
it to
Sadie's
church.
after.
I wore it to church.
Yeah.
Well,
All
it's
right.
10 o'clock at night, so that's a whole
All right.
other problem. Jordan, what do you got here?
My diva is, graduation season. Went to graduation on Thursday. People who get up out of their seat and leave, like start walking down. I know, like the local graduations in the football field, who start walking down to go on the football field before graduation is over. While kids' names are still being called,
People are leaving.
people are getting up, leaving. Like, imagine if just because your kid's name was called already, but
Yeah.
what about the person next to you whose kid and like you're making a ruckus?
Yeah.
Like, walking down the steps of the loud aluminum.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am a graduation just master. Like I have it figured out, guys. Like
You show up late.
you show up late.
Yeah.
Like if it starts at 8, get there at 9. All you got to be there for is for the picture. Like unless you know someone
See,
who's giving a speech.
I enjoy listening to speeches. I know you don't, Trent. So
Sometimes they're okay.
but I just think it's very rude. It's very rude to just get
Yeah,
up
I
and
agree
start
with you.
walking down the stairs.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Same thing goes for weddings too, though. Like you don't have to show up till the reception; they will not know.
Yeah.
That's also true.
Imagine being the last kid.
Yeah.
And you get your name called, and it's just like
Half
nobody.
the stands are gone.
Half the stands are gone.
yeah,
you
and
actually-
the thing is too, it's
It
like
sounds
those
like
people.
this happened to you.
It wouldn't be
No,
a
I was
far
the first kid
cry.
at my graduation. I was the very first
Were
one.
you?
Everyone was still in their seats.
That is so cool, man.
You are a nerd. Would it be, Jordan, would it be a far cry to say those people are very similar to the people who stand up right when the plane lands?
Yep, they're very,
Trent
very
did
similar.
this for what it's worth on our bachelor party, like in the bus, like on our way up to
Yes,
the river rafting.
yes.
Trent stood up, and mind you, this bus is like
Sardines.
sardine packed, and
Yeah.
Trent's a couple sardines himself, and he decides to stand up.
And he's in a
And-
wetsuit. It's
Yeah.
all wrapped in.
Yeah.
We're all,
They made me wear that wetsuit. I did not need that.
those
Felt like
wets-
a-
we
felt
need a- we need a photo of that.
Felt like a seal in a.
You look like a nice lunch
felt
to a
like
great
felt
white.
like a seal trying to get between two icebergs.
You look like a nice lunch for an
it looked
orca.
like an orca snack.
It was pretty funny. It was fun. I knew Trent stood up because everyone knew that Trent was like that. So we stood up to get people to laugh about it.
Yeah,
He wanted a
loser, Trent.
reaction.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay, well, hey guys, I think that about does it. Hey, we got a draft this week with Caleb from Beware Bulldogs. Won't want to miss that. We got a breakup songs draft. It is it's good. It's some
Entertaining,
singing.
mildly.
Yeah, entertaining. Me and Seth had to share a mic. Yeah, it was good. So go ahead. That'll come out on Wednesday. Go check that out. Remember, don't be rude. Share the dudes. And as always, take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football
Trent is
Dudes
a nun.
podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.